Om Muni Muni Maha Munaye Soha Tayata 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 Om Muni Muni Maha Munaye Soha. Sashi perke shukshi metta tram rirab lingshin and then yampadi sange shindu mette buhayi jokunanda shinla chopa sho idam guru ratna mandala kamneyataya
Good afternoon. How was the trip? Very meaningful, isn't it? So, after the course, if you are staying back, then maybe go individually in your own free time. Would be most beneficial. So you can spend more time there, according with those practices that you wish to conduct. Okay. So I will go through the text a bit, because there's still quite some verse need to complete. I think this is almost the last teaching session. Tomorrow we are going 27. At 27 morning, may spend some time with going through the refuge. More detail, maybe some teaching on refuge. Then after that, Bodhisattva vow, then finish, isn't it? Time over, isn't it? Yeah. And by lunch, no more. Or we want to restart? Okay. So verse 50, it says, moreover, when all phenomena are examined as to whether they are one or many, they are not seen to exist by way of their own entity, and thus are ascertained as not inherently existent. So then again, is very much the verse we discussed earlier, the four-cornered diamond, fragmented, the four-cornered proof of diamond fragment reasoning. Very much the way to establish the lack of inherent existence is so that logic is one of best one. So if you want to analyze selflessness of a person, like no self, then a self is not produced from itself. It is inherent self, or even the self is not produced from itself, nor from another, also not from both, no causality either. Thus I does not exist inherently by way of its own entity. So you establish like that. And then there's another way of analysis is, four ways of analysis to examine there's no intrinsic or inherent existent I or phenomena. So that is the 7 ways, 7 ways of analyzing, 7 ways to analyze, to examine there's no intrinsic inherent existent I, or no dualistic I, So also need to know your own what is the strongest false view that you are carrying, so that is something that need to examine. um, for certain individual, not necessarily inherent existence or dualistic existence is the main, obstacle to view the no self. It could be permanent grasping. Many individuals, even most of us here, if you check carefully, the grasping that we carry, the false view we carry about self and phenomena, is the thickest, the strongest false view is permanent view, the permanent grasping. Even when we think about I, unless you rationalize it, otherwise there's no sense of idea that I lies in the nature of impermanent, isn't it? Even the changes comes in our way, we most of time deny it. The proof of that is that you suffer the experience of changes, the impermanent. You feel unacceptable when changes come in our life. You feel unacceptable, and that is the proof. That's the sign that you are still not accepting the impermanent nature of situation or self or form, like physical form, from healthy to suddenly, doctors say that you got something wrong. That will shock you. They will fear you because of unable to accept that. We have this grasping of like ever healthy. Even we worry about health, but the underlying grasping is still permanent grasping. So, the term, the language, inherent existence, it sounds like very, very, very deep, very scary. Or true existence, it sounds like very deep and scary. But the scariest one, I think, is the permanent grasping. If you're able to crack that shell of permanent grasping in your view, then I think rest of the false view of like intrinsic existence or substantial existence, dualistic existence, on to the self and on to any phenomena like a form. This is my thinking. I think it will be very easy. So first we need to crack the shell of permanent grasping. So for some people, then the true existence is not in a substantial manner, but true existence in a form of kind of energy, form of consciousness. Especially if you relate to, if you are quite familiar with Chitta Matharan view, then our asserting, even in our idea, even in our like logical understanding, the assertion is that assertion very close to the Chitta Matharan way, but that true existence is what is that true existence? And there's something to be spotted, isn't it? And that we have this assumption of, it is there in a continuum, yet unable to grab. Like physically, there's nothing to grab. So as as if the continuum itself, the continuum of the consciousness itself, is the what it means true existent. Because if you lose the continuum, you lose the chain of karma, you lose the chain of cause and effect. You see, so that's why there's an assertion of because the many consciousness, they come and go. They have an interruption of breaking. So that's why there's an assertion of 7 consciousness, which is regarded as a very stable, which carry the imprint, that imprint, the imprint, which is the potential of existence. And what is that imprint? That is nothing other than a consciousness again. And when you go to search that storage of the imprint, is again nothing other than the stream of consciousness or continuum of consciousness. So at the end of the day, the consciousness itself is what it means by true existence. There's nothing more to prove, nothing to evident. So some individuals have this inherent grasping is more towards the Chittamattran kind. Some is more like a how to say, like many non-Buddhist philosophers, they assert self as a permanent. We underlining, we very much carry that view. The permanent. We don't express it. In language, we say the self is impermanent, but the grasping actually grasps as a permanent. You see, so for some, this like dualistic, the dualistic appearance can be the main focal of grasping, and for some substantial existence, the substance, there need to be a potential either on the subject or on the object. So that's why, like Lama Tsongkhapa said, first you establish the negation. You need to recognize. Of course, you need to recognize the common presentation of what negation is. But most of all, on top of that, the most important one is to recognize the negation that which obstacle you personal level, isn't it? Because there are many different kind of different way of grasping. So first we need to know that, something like that. So anyway, there's another way to analyze is 7 ways of analysis. So that is the example of chariot. I always have problem of pronouncing this particular word, so I usually call carrot. So the carrot is neither asserted to be other than it is part, nor to be none other. It does not possess them. It does not depend on the part, and the part do not depend on it. It is neither the mere collections of the part, nor it is their shape. So you need to use that similar to I. I is neither asserted to be other than the aggregates, nor to be none other than aggregates. It does not possess. I does not possess within the aggregates. I does not depend. I does not depend on the aggregates. So this bit challenge. In order to establish legitimate existence of self, you need a correct base, and correct base is the aggregates. You see, so but why saying that the I does not depend on the parts? The continuum of the person exists even beyond these physical aggregates, isn't it? My continuum exists from beginningless lifetime, isn't it? And it will continue. And there are many reincarnation of ours does not have a form basis. We sometimes just spirit alone. So it does not depend on this physical aggregates, this base, So I does not depend on the parts. I does not depend on these aggregates, these human aggregates. If you need to depend on this inherent or substantial existent human aggregates, then this substantial phenomena should also exist when we are born as a spirit, when we don't have form. And the parts do not depend on I. That's easy. By the time when we die, all these parts cremate, then evolve into intermediate state being. Not even dependent on the human consciousness, the aggregates of consciousness. Not only not dependent on the physical. It is neither the mere collections of the part. I is not mere collections of the part, mere collection of the aggregates. Neither mere collections of the aggregates. If it's mere collections of the aggregates, then one part of the aggregates or one aggregate is missing, then you cannot establish I. Nor it is their shape, nor it is their, the individual organs or individual aggregates. So this reasoning, you just change the object of analysis. Otherwise, the logic is the same. This is one of logical reasoning, usually used to establish no self. So then another one, as I mentioned this morning, the 4-point analysis. First one is identification of what is to be refuted. Then second one is determine the mood in which I or form exist. Then if it's I, then I as one with the aggregates, or I as a different from the aggregates. So this is actually very helpful. It's simple, very helpful. So that's why first you need to know, you need to identify what is the negation, or you just follow this, philosophical suggestions. First, you start to negate the what I call the negation that presented by the Vaibhasika. Say I would say the negation is I being permanent, I being independent, I being independently existent, I being autonomically existent. So first that is the negation that you need to overcome. Then after that, then the dualistic, the apprehension of me that to be negated. Then gradually negate the substantial existence, true substantial existence. True existence. So first you negate the true existence. Then after that, then inherent existence. So the moment, so the wisdom of no self is nothing more than the knowledge you gain, knowledge that you obtain, negating the negation. There's no other wisdom than that. So what is the wisdom of emptiness? Wisdom of emptiness of self is the knowledge that able to negate, the knowledge that able to negate the negation. That is the wisdom, and that is called wisdom of selfless, or wisdom of selfless or wisdom of emptiness. Then verse 51. The reasoning of the 70 stanzas on emptiness, the treatise on the middle way, and so forth, explain that the nature of all things is established as emptiness. So, such as treatise on the middle way, like Nagarjuna's, the 6 different kind of treatise, which is the main, such like a root text to the emptiness knowledge. So all stated that all things are established as a emptiness. All things are established as a interdependently existent. All things are established as a lack of inherent existence. So again, it's not just believing because of Nagarjuna say so, because of all his scriptures stated that, not contradicting among each other, all stating the same thing, and then therefore I need to believe it. Not like that, isn't it? The emptiness nature is a reality, is a truth, is the ultimate truth, ultimate reality, ultimate truth. And not knowing this ultimate truth is the disaster. But then if blindly think about it, what's the disaster? Not knowing emptiness, it doesn't make any feeling, but the thing is, not knowing the ultimate reality is the basis that expresses all the delusions. And we are very familiar with the delusion, like attachment, grasping. Very painful. Attachment, grasping can cause so much problem. So if we don't know, if we don't detect how problematic the ignorant is, not knowing the ultimate reality, at least learn the harmful impact that which ignorance cause, through the rest of the delusions. From there we can understand how destructive the ignorance is, because the ignorant grasping is a hallucinational grasping, and the hallucination has this nature, this quality of exaggerating, manipulative, always follow the false narrative, always kind of trick you, make you so excited, very happy, but then make sure you get the big punch at the end. So the delusions is very much like that. So ignorant, sometimes you learn about ignorant, it's also almost, it's like much more smarter than the wisdom. Much more tricky and much more smarter than the wisdom. The way how handle us. So why need to realize the ultimate truth? Because we need to purify the reaction or the impact of the delusions, which are painful. You see, karmic results, karmic experience, like samsaras, are very painful. Suffering of change, suffering of pervasive suffering, and suffering of pain. All these are very painful. Ups and downs in the life. All this very painful. These are product of karma. Karma, product of delusion. Delusion, the root is ignorance, not knowing the ultimate truth. Because of that, so that's the reason why you need to realize emptiness. When you realize emptiness, that wisdom of voidness, of intrinsic, intrinsic, lacking intrinsic nature in self and phenomena. Again, like blindly you think about it. What's a big deal, like that, isn't it? But it is so powerful that it cuts all the rest of the hallucinations. Means it directly cuts the delusions. It directly stops the function of attachment, function of aversion, function of jealousy, So therefore, realizing wisdom is the liberation. Liberation from pain, liberation from delusional bondage. You see, so like that. Then verse 52. Since there are great many passages, I have not cited them here, but have explained just their conclusion for the purpose of meditation. So Lama Atisha, he even the wisdom chapter, he writes here mainly dedicated for meditation. Not about philosophical kind of way of study. So therefore he didn't present that is cool, this is cool, all this. So mainly establish the Pasangika Madhyamika, the final view on emptiness. But of course, in order to establish that, you have to bring up about the negation. That's why the Chittamatharan and Saudantika Madhyamikas, the view was presented. And then Atisha, reason to refute them. So that much. It didn't present all the four schools. Thus, verse 53. Thus, whatever is meditation on selflessness, in that it does not observe, and in that it does not observe an inherent nature in phenomena, is the cultivation of wisdom. So verse 53, as Atisha mentioned, that he presented here more for the meditational purpose. So verse 53 is the guideline for the post-meditation on emptiness, which is the illusion-like meditation, dream-like meditation. So how to go about that? How to do dream-like meditation or illusion-like meditation. That is through through educating our mind, our understanding through the this reasoning that presented before, the logical reasonings to prove the emptiness of self, emptiness of phenomena, like such as the diamond prevented reasonings, the seven reasonings or 4-point reasonings. First you analyze whether there is a self or not, whether there is a inherent existence self or not, by those reasoning, and you come to a wisdom, you come to understanding that self do not exist. Self lies in the nature of emptiness. Self is a void of intrinsic existence. That understanding now have to translate. It is exists, but at the same time do not exist. Have to translate to our understanding. Self and phenomena, all experiences, exist, but at the same time do not exist. It's very much like dream. You dream of elephant entering into your room, the big one, and you have a small door. So the impact, and the dream, when you dream of elephant coming into your room, the reaction, or the impact, you experience it, the fear. But when you wake up, it does not exist the way you apprehend, it does not exist the way how it appeared. So exists in hallucinational mind, but at the same time absolutely do not exist. Do not exist because do not exist because you cannot even find one substance to define that this is the elephant. But it still bring the impact, it's still so vivid. So all experiences in our life, including knowledge of our own self-identity, yes, it appears, but it does not exist the way how it appears to us. You see, yes, it brings the experiences, good and bad, happiness, suffering, all the experiences through our senses. Yes, it is there, but you examine, does it exist the way exactly how it appear, how it experience? You definitely come to a conclusion that it does not exist the way how it experience in your first glance, or it does not exist the way how you experience it. It does not exist the way how it appear to it. So so logically convince your heart. Then now you have to train in day-to-day life. Whatever whenever your five senses engaging with this object, then your mindfulness has to, your mindfulness has to tell yourself, it exists, but at the same time it do not exist. It does not exist the way how it appears, how it sounds, how it feels. So when suffering experiences comes in our way, always, so in all experience we need to give a pause. So that's necessary now, which we don't do. We make a immediate judgment, instinct judgment, and all those judgments are false judgment. You see, so, and that's the way we experience so much suffering, emotional sufferings. The suffering that produced through confusion, graspings. So whenever suffering experience comes in our way, through much habitual imprint of learning emptiness, say, okay, I must give one pause. I should analyze it first. It sounds like whole world problem falls on you. It's like that, whatever problem comes in you, small or big, the way how we feel is like whole world problem is like kind of ripen up on you. That kind of feeling, that's how we express the problem that you're going through is the biggest problem in the whole universe. That's our first grasping, first apprehension. You see, so. But now if you give a pause, it shouldn't be like that. I need to analyze it. The moment you start to analyze it, whether the problem, again using all this logical reason, whether the problem, if the problem is someone created to you, then whether the problem exists within that person, or within me, or in between, or somewhere else, or in the air. So the moment you start to investigate, it itself, cause liberation. Already the problem start to reduce, and ultimately, you can be free from the emotional torture, emotional harm from that experience. Physically there may be certain inconvenience may be going on. That also through the emptiness, the similar kind of idea. If you are really deep into conviction in emptiness, then you really have this sense of non-existent, non-existent even one substance, in such problem on you. So the power of the mind can able to purify, you see, or you will generate positive wisdom. Like if we feel sick, if we are unable to handle, reach to this very concentrated meditative idea about on the voidness, a lack of substantial existence on the problem, or let's say like cough, then at least you have this calm state of mind to do some other practices like tonen practices, etc. So emotionally you don't suffer, and by the time the impermanent already taken a place, already take effect, because that how big the problem is lies in the nature of impermanent. So taking quite a time to analyze already give a opportunity from the nature side to solve the problem. So it's a really powerful, it's so beneficial, so like that. So therefore, so you throughout the day, throughout in all activities, so you have to think illusional like, not illusion. We cannot view it as an illusion, but we have to train our mind to view it as an illusional like, dream like. Yes, it exists, but it does not exist the way how it appear. And again, we may ask, what's the big deal? But that actually directly antidoting, to the ignorant. And because of that, so many delusions are reduced, and so many creations of karmas are reduced. And so much sufferings are reduced. Then verse 54 is just as a wisdom does not see an inherent nature in phenomena, having analyzed wisdom itself by reasoning, non-conceptually meditate on that. So this verse is guidance for the absorption meditation. So so how to arrive to have the object of absorption meditation. Now, object of absorption meditation on emptiness, it has to be the finest wisdom of emptiness, and that is the wisdom realizing emptiness of the wisdom that realizes emptiness of the seven phenomena. You see, wisdom realizing emptiness of the wisdom that realizing emptiness of others. So the object of absorption meditation, the wisdom realizing emptiness of form is not good enough. Wisdom realizing emptiness of self is not good enough. Wisdom realizing emptiness of many phenomena is not good enough. After realizing emptiness of, at least through analytical or through analysis, through logic, realizing lack of inherent existence in many phenomena, then finally that wisdom, that which realizing that, also lies in the nature of lack of inherent existence, and that wisdom is the object of absorption meditation. So that itself, from the object itself, it brings very subtle level. The subtlest level is like very concentrated one. The nectar. So. So therefore, first we need to learn the correct information on emptiness, like such as exact, what are the exact negations, and what is the meaning of the emptiness, which is interdependent arising, as I mentioned before. Each of the schools, their emptiness, all in the meaning of interdependent arising, but the meaning of interdependent arising differs from one school to the other school. So we need to equip the understanding of the meaning of interdependent arising, and according with the Nagarjuna, and according with the Pasangika view, and that is dependent on the imputation of the mind. It is exist independent on the imputation of the mind, merely dependent on the imputation of the mind. Merely, so has to say merely. So the merely cut or merely negate the the Chidamatrans, Chidamatra, like such as assertion of true existence, etc. So is it interdependent existence? What that emptiness of self or phenomena is interdependent arising. What it does mean, interdependent arising? It mean, it exists. The I or the phenomena exists merely independent on the labeling of the mind. So after understanding that, then you analyze. You use this different tool to analyze it. So first you gain correct wisdom of learning. Then after that, then you need to analyze it until you gain the wisdom of analysis. Wisdom of analysis all the way up to the wisdom that realizing the emptiness. Even that also need to analyze in the similar way, exactly similar way. After done that, you will gain one wisdom conclusion. Oh, I see. That's it. You arrive to a position of voidness that not dependent on logics, not dependent on text, not dependent on any ideas, not dependent on philosophy. It's just completely completely void of all graspings, all conceptual graspings, all conceptual fabrications, all conceptual explanations. It's just completely void, alone. So one need to arrive into that stage. So therefore it called this meditation is called space-like meditation. In the vast clear space, middle of the space, you look up there, you roll your eye in a whole direction, you don't see any end, any direction. It's completely empty, but at the same time, you acknowledge the whole possibility of existence because of this empty, isn't it? Without that empty, nothing can exist, isn't it? So exactly like that, So you have to arrive to when that wisdom is the wisdom that which not apprehending any other knowledge, any philosophy, any tradition, basically entire conceptual, all this tradition, all this and that, everything is in the conceptual idea. So it's completely overcome that conceptuality. Then dissolving into that voidness, that infinite space-like voidness, that's called absorption. You see, so remaining there single-pointedly, you are in absorption meditation. You see, so in day-to-day life, we have to train like that. Even it can be just 5 minutes or 1 minute. Maybe in the morning before you start your busy day, the mind is more calm. Then you do you do a quick, like kind of glimpse meditation on the analytical meditation first, and that let it arrive to gain the wisdom of analysis, and use that wisdom as object of your contemplation, your your absorption, your one-pointed absorption, then remain there, complete voidness, remain there. So now there, because of losing all conceptual grasping, losing all grasping, naturally the mind experience lightness, joy, blissfulness. Then the moment the joy arrive, while your absorption in the voidness, then we call the union of bliss and emptiness. Union of bliss and emptiness. So that's the you see. Then there later, after you finish your absorption meditation, the impact is still carry on, like such a lightness, such kind of free kind of freedom feeling. Is very much like how the bird would feel if the bird released from the cage. You feel very uplifted. It's like almost like can float. Then so that is the continuum of what you experience, the bliss. And you will know, you actually had a very, very quality absorption meditation, union of bliss and voidness. So we have to train that, in our day-to-day. Shamatha also, of course, it's very difficult for us to find time to go to retreat. So at least train concentration day to day. Few short sessions. The more the concentration develop, it helps for the absorption meditation. Easier to get into absorption meditation. Then the absorption meditation also, even it's a created one, we have to try it. Without getting into the absorption meditation, we won't able to train our subconscious mind, our subtle level of mind. If we don't train that, if we don't get to the meditative state, then whatever Dharma practice we do, through blessing it will be helpful, but with our own the intended utilization of path is very difficult to happen, especially when we go through the clear light process, because during the clear light process, all gross mind is ceased, isn't it? All our memorizations is all gone. We won't remember the scriptures. We won't even remember, how we meditate before. Only the certain blessings, that will help in the form of imprint. But most impacting training that our subconscious mind receive is through meditative equipoise, absorption meditation. So the more absorption meditation you do, then the moment gross mind cease, the subtle mind become like a gross, like that, most active. So since you already train the meditative or the subtle state of our mind, as like how now we refer to the text and read very clearly, understand easily, that similar way, whatever you meditated, everything becomes so fresh. So that's how that the yogics, they give so much time to do meditation is because of that. All the successful yogics first they develop shamatha, then mainly afterwards, whether they are doing daily yoga or not, the main meditation is absorption meditation on union of great bliss and emptiness, and that you translate to clear light meditation or whatever meditation you're familiar with, and the main objective is to able to utilize clear light, natural clear light as a path. Yeah. So then in our day-to-day, the more you do such meditation, then you become more and more relaxed person, more and more easygoing. You come to a point that even you want to get angry, also you cannot get angry. Yeah, you come to a point that I really, today I really want to get angry. Also, I can't. You can't. you know. So these are the impact will come, and so for doing virtues, it will become like Jabja Lama Sopa Rinpoche. From 10 direction, you will try to stop him. We all know that. Attendants will stop him to, okay, Rinpoche, please stop. Please stop reciting mantra. Please stop taking care of the animals. Please stop teaching. Please go to sleep. Please rest. Please eat. From 10 direction. Even when we go, whenever I go, I see Rinpoche, first thing I say, Rinpoche, please first eat something, because he's not eating, because he's paying full attention to you, so so these are the impact of emptiness, impact of shamatha, always so full of joy in accumulating virtue, benefiting sentient being. So that's why earlier in the shamatha section, without shamatha, you won't able to bring effective benefit to sentient being. If you really want to bring effective benefit to sentient being, you train in concentration. So Jebja Lama Sopa Rinpoche is the best example. Day and night, whole life, unbelievable. I was Rinpoche's attendant 3 years. 3 years I traveled 24 hours together with Rinpoche. My ship was night shift. so that time Venerable Roger and me only two. So Venerable Roger take care of the daytime, I take care of the night time. So the whole night is like whole day. So yes, so that's like every single day like that. Not even one moment. Lie down like this. So there's one time that time I was not a Rinpoche attendant. I was a resident teacher in Malaysia center. So Rinpoche visited the center, and the program was very packed. So I really want him to at least lie down a bit and rest. So of course he won't listen. Then I say I went to study Reiki. So I say I went to study crystals, healings. So I say I like to scan your body. So Rinpoche like very big eye. Oh really? I say I will know exactly what's happening in the body. So but for that I say you need to lie down. So Rinpoche was like so sweet, so cute. He was really lying down. So of course I'm not good at that. So but I still use a crystal and just go around and say, Rinpoche, I say need to close his eye. Then they say just like even the hand just relax like that. So of course I also touch a little bit like this, like this, like this, like this. Then after I touch with the crystal like this, like this, like this, like this. Then slowly I just like go like that. Then suddenly I hear he snoring. I was so happy. It's like, yeah, like that. After many years later, First time see lying down and snoring for a few moments, so yeah, so anyway, yeah, my point is, it's about, because of their practice, they don't get tired, they don't need sleep, my the late guru Geshe Lama also like that. So he also, don't sleep. It's a full function one, so like that. So these are real. These are, real human being. We witness. When I first came to Kopan, the senior monk said, "Our guru don't sleep one." And so I don't. I said, "No, I don't think so." So I doubt. But curious, I say, how possible people don't sleep? Even though it's 9, 10 years old, you have this curiosity. So so Rinpoche's room got the glass window from this side, so you can jump over and you can watch. So so of course after a few days, you cannot watch whole night, isn't it? So I have to make my schedule, So okay, 10 to 11 he don't sleep, means maybe he's sleeping from 11 to 12, So okay, tomorrow I check from 12 to 11, then 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So I still not satisfied, maybe some other time he must be sleeping. So then finally, because he was always sitting like that, so I thought maybe he's sleeping like this. So then, because I was assigned to do water bowl offering in Rinpoche's room, so that day, early, maybe around 2-3 o'clock, and I went inside his room, and I sit at the corner there. Rinpoche's seat is there, So I just very quietly went inside, and he still sit like that. I say, "What do you need?" I said like that. I said, "Oh," then I was like freak out, So the water bowl, no need to change now. I changed the water bowl as if I came to change water bowl. So they really is not sleeping, So then after that, so yeah, I was freaked out. So he feel like he said us to sit down. So after sit down, he's not talking. He go back like that. So then I slowly would try to go back. He said, "Sit down." So so like that. Then after I get chance to attend, then then you that time already a bit shy and also feel convinced. But then later, really 3 years full time, then Rinpoche is all the time like that, like not even one single moment, not doing something for sentient being. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, And we went to Laudo after 1 week full time Nyungne, and if Nyungne lead by Rinpoche is like going to be unbelievable session, many hours of session, isn't it? So okay, I need to look at the time also. So anyway, so yeah, so when we come back, the story cut short. We need to reach Lukla, by this evening. We have to leave early morning and arrive Lukla this evening. Then tomorrow take flight to Kathmandu. But Rinpoche unable to leave until 5 o'clock, something like that, because of he's taking care of everybody, teaching, transmissions, even like just make people happy. If someone making food offering, he just try to eat just to make happy. Also make them accumulate merit, So then we were late. So and it's drizzling. So we took flashlight like that. So of course, so we have about 10-15 of people traveling together. So Rinpoche is, we try to put somewhere in the middle. After a few steps, Rinpoche said, "No, I want to lead the road." So before that we were rushing, So the moment Rinpoche lead the road, and every step he stopped, and he stopped for about 15, 20 to half an hours, because he saw a frog. So when he saw a frog, then he chant the mantra. He just tried to keep the frog, chant the mantra. Then he would chant many mantras. So it takes really 15 to 20 to half an hour, like that. Then after that, he saw an ant. It just took, just to reach Namche Bazaar, we reached morning around 3 o'clock. Some of you been to Laudo. From Laudo to Namche Bazaar is just short, not so far, not far distant. We leave around 5 o'clock. We reach morning around 3 o'clock. So before went into the city, there's one big rock, got a lot of mantra. So Rinpoche was walking like this. He said, we need to stop here to do Lama Chopa, Guru Puja. But before that, there's some like a small stupas, the carved rocks. So he will go around, circumambulate, do prostration and wet. All the clothes already like muddy, but do prostration, go around many rounds like that. So, but after some time, most of people already very tired from the Nyungne. So we know that he's going to take about half an hour. So we all carrying small rucksack, So then we find these flat juniper trees. So just lie down. Then we assign someone to wake up. Whenever Rinpoche finish, I say, get up, go. So then the Guru Puja, there's one monk, senior monk called Srindubu. So I think those of you who went to Laudo, you know him, who's helping Aning or something, Rinpoche's sister there. So he usually, we regard he's a funny monk. He make a lot of fun, a lot of jokes, So one of the main purpose to walk down is needed to bless one stupa at Lugla, which he built under the instruction of Rinpoche. So that's one of the purpose. The another purpose is one Nyingma Lama called Lama Dorje. He requested Rinpoche to give some initiation for many years ago. So he says maybe he should fulfill his wish now. So then so someone was leading Lama Chopa, and Rinpoche said, stop. He said he want to lead the Lama Chopa. So he go one line loud, then he meditate there. So all of us like freezing cold, hungry, tired. And especially this monk Srindubu, he been down and up almost 3 times in that day. He went to Lugla, he come back to Laudo, he went down again, he came back, now he's going with us. So he must be so tired, isn't it? But his heart so inspired. But at the same time, I think so tired. So, and he purposely sit right in front. Rinpoche is here like that. He sit right in front. So when Rinpoche after recite one line, he go in a meditation. Not sooner or later, this monk, Rinpoche, Gyapsuche. It's like, Rinpoche, I go for refuge to you like that. But he make loud, Rinpoche, Gyapsuche. Rinpoche, kind of wake up from the samadhi, then he will go another round, and Rinpoche always do long tune the longest tune, long tune. Again go into samadhi. Again this monk will wake him up. So until sunrise. So then one villager approached and say that one of their son, died in the mountain climbing. So they are performing this extensive shito or something puja, very extensive puja. So they're requesting, Rinpoche to go. So Rinpoche said, okay. But of course, all of us will stop him not to go, but he definitely go. So once he sit on the throne, he haven't had breakfast. We all of us went for breakfast. So he's sitting on the throne. And then we went through the puja for some time. Then after that, we kind of force him to come out from the throne, and we need to leave. Then outside in Namche Bazaar, every door holding this brass kind of plate. Then there's like a wheat, then salt, actually to consecrate their house. And each of this family, they have an altar, isn't it? So Rinpoche goes to here, goes to this. He tried to fulfill everyone's wishes and go into each house. He see the altar, do 35 Buddha's prostration. Then got teaching also. Then go to another house. And around maybe like 9, 10 o'clock only we able to leave from Namche Bazaar. We were stuck there whole day. House blessing. Fulfilling every single person's wishes. Then after that, there's one villager, says he sees he's going to be too tired, so he thought that maybe he will ride on the horse, so it will be a bit easier for him to walk. So one person offer a horse, and Rinpoche accept. And Rinpoche assigned one of the attendant, make sure you chant mantra non-stop to the horse. So you have one interraj extra with a horse. And some more after Namche Bazaar to go down, that's the scariest road, and in the dark, so the horse. So this monk, we have to take turn to recite because I'm so tired, so you have to recite loud one. So then eventually we, in the morning, maybe 2, 3 o'clock, we reach at the place before Lukla. There's a Lama Dorje's place. So Lama Dorje, of course, he prepared all the initiation for initiation, but he knew Rinpoche had been doing this, and he's so tired. When we arrived at Lama Dorje's first request, please don't give initiation. I want you to rest. I say, I want you to rest. It's okay. Anyway, nobody will come because people waited so long, all gone. And the villages are scattered, far like that. So he requests to rest, and Rinpoche is like, he says, okay, no problem. You asked me for 5-6 years ago, I think he asked in Bodh Gaya, that's I heard. He requested to grant that initiation in Bodh Gaya many years back, and Rinpoche thought to fulfill that. But then, after that, after checking into room, and the Lama Dorje went into his own room, then Rinpoche asked us to prepare all the Thoma. Tomorrow initiation definitely going to happen. So Rinpoche already started to do preparation, and we start to do all the other preparations. Then I think next morning around 10 o'clock, I think Rinpoche did mention, I think we'll offer the initiation around, before lunch or something like that. Suddenly, whole village gathered, as if they were called. But none of them was actually announced, this thing happening today. And everybody came. Then he offered the initiation, like that. So anyway, there are many stories, all the way to Kopand, all the way to airport, but better stop here. So these are all because of samadhi and wisdom of emptiness and bodhicitta, so these are living example. It's unbelievable. So even if we able to do one small fraction of that, I think it's going to be so amazing, so beneficial, for you, for others, for the world. Then verse 55, the nature of this worldly existence, which has come from conceptualization, is conceptuality. thus the elimination of the conceptuality is the highest stage of nirvana. So as I mentioned before, the realizing wisdom itself is the nirvana. So this verse can understand as the teaching on Four Noble Truth. The first line, the nature of this worldly existence, understand as a suffering, the truth of suffering, which has come from conceptualization, to understand as the causes of the suffering, which is the ignorant, is conceptuality, which has come from conceptualization is conceptuality. So maybe this, maybe this two wording maybe also can understand as both, the karma and delusion, both causes for the samsara. Thus the elimination of conceptuality. So elimination, what eliminate? The antidote, the path will eliminate. So the truth of path. Eliminating the conceptuality is, shows the truth of the path. So the cessation from eliminating the conceptuality is the highest state of nirvana, which is the cessation. So it shows Four Noble Truth. Then word 56, the great ignorance of conceptuality makes us fall into the oceans of cyclic existence. Resting in non-conceptual stabilization, space like non-conceptuality manifests clearly. So space like wisdom of emptiness occur when you stop conceptuality. So you can also call it superstitious mind, or delusional mind, or hallucination, or false view. So this conceptuality can understand of this all the meaning of these words. When you stop that, then you obtain the wisdom, space like wisdom. Non-conceptuality manifests clearly. The direct realization on emptiness arrive there. Then 57, when Bodhisattva non-conceptually contemplate this excellent teaching, they will transcend conceptuality so hard to overcome and eventually reach the non-conceptual state. So this is what the Arya Bodhisattvas do. Bodhisattva here have to refer to Arya Bodhisattva, because ordinary Bodhisattva, they still carry until they realize wisdom of emptiness directly, they still carry the conceptualization. Even during the path of preparation, there's a realization of emptiness. That realization is a conceptual realization of emptiness, not a direct realization of emptiness. Direct realization of emptiness only when you reach path of seeing, the first moment of path of seeing. So there's one quotation here. Nagarjuna's fundamental treatise says, because of the pacifications of the conceptual apprehended self, and that which self owns, the concept I and the conception mind will be gone. Because of the pacification of the self and that which self owns, the conception I and the conception mind will be gone. When thought of the self and that which belong to self are extinguished in regard to internal and external things, grasping will stop. Through its extinction, birth will be extinguished. So when you overcome conceptuality, you are able to overcome the conceptually apprehended I, when you overcome conceptually apprehended I, you're able to overcome all those so-called mind. By doing so, then you're able to full stop to the delusion. By doing so, full stop to the karma. By doing so, you're able to stop birth. By stopping birth, you stop aging, sickness, death. You stop all the circle of samsara. Again, is the same text says, through extinguishing karma and affliction, there is a liberation. Karma and affliction arises from misconception. This misconception arises from elaboration. These elaborations are stopped by emptiness. Emptiness viewing, this one is a different text. Chandrakirti's clear word says, emptiness viewing all things as emptiness stop all worldly elaboration. Why? Because when you are something, when you see something as real, there are going to be elaborations such as those explained. Insofar as the daughter of the barren woman is not seen, the lustful will not engage in elaboration with her as an object. When elaborations are not operating, their object is not going to be misconceived. As misconceptions are not operating, affliction rooted in the refining view of the perishing aggregates are not generated through clinging to I and mine. As afflictions rooted in the refining view of the perishing aggregates are not generated, actions are not performed, the karma is not performed. Those who do not perform action will not experience silent existence, which is called birth, aging, and death. Then from the same text it says, why it is like this. Emptiness is not elaborated insofar as it has the character of thoroughly curing elaboration. Since it is not elaborated, it is stopped misconception through stopping misconception. Through stopping misconception, it stopped the afflictions. Stopping karma, stopping karma and affliction stop the birth. Therefore, since only emptiness has the character of stopping all elaboration, it is called nirvana. Okay, then verse 58. Having ascertained through scripture and through reasoning that phenomena are not produced, not inherently existent, meditate without conceptuality. Then 59. Having thus meditated on suchness, eventually after reaching heat and so forth, the heat, the path of preparation, there are four stages. The first stage is heat, then peak, the mountain peak. Jolam Zemo Soba, then patient, then supreme Dharma. Having thus meditated on suchness, eventually after reaching heat and so forth, when you reach so forth, when you reach the path of preparation, the supreme Dharma, the number 4, then you actualize the conceptual realization on emptiness. In the same continuum of meditative equipoise, the very joyful will arrive. In the same meditative equipoise, the moment the conceptual complete eradication or conceptualization, complete eradication or conceptuality, then that path of preparation, the last stage supreme Dharma, will transit to the first moment of path of seeing, which is called the the very joyful, where you realize first time, directly the emptiness, which is free of conceptuality, and others are attained, and others like such as all the 10 bhumis will be gradually attained, and before long the enlightenment state of the Buddhahood. You see, so 10 bhumis, you accomplish 10 bhumis by eradicating the nine different portions from gross to subtle, the obscuration to omniscient. Then you again, the last moment of the 10 bhumi is the meditative equipoise, when the three countless eons of merit is accomplished, and that force, the last moment of the meditative equipoise of the 10 bhumi, will arrive to path of normal learning, which is the state of enlightenment. The fifth, okay, that's finish the wisdom chapter. We can go up to, okay, then maybe I can also even finish the tantra, introduction to tantra, maybe, because we have now some more minutes, isn't it? 5 more minutes. Okay. Verse 60 to verse 67 is introduction to tantra, in this text. So verse 60, it says, if you wish to create with ease the collections for enlightenment through activities of pacification, increase and so forth, gained by the power of mantra. So if you wish to travel to enlightenment with ease, ease here is referring without needed to take 3 countless eons of time. Within one very lifetime want to achieve enlightenment, then by the collections of enlightenment through activities of pacification. So through activity of pacification, there are 4 activities of the daily practice: pacifying, increasing, controlling, and wrathful. So there are 4 activities, and these are very powerful. Like when you perform the deity's activities of pacification, is a very powerful purification practice. The deeds of increasing is very powerful activities of the tantric ritual practices to increase the merit. Controlling, to direct your mind, as well as also impacting others, to follow the path. You will gain such capabilities. Then even those very subtle delusions, or external, inner outer secret obstacles, the major one, through the wrathful activity, able to overcome so easily, and for that, so that can be performed through tantra or mantra. So if you wish to create this ease with the collection of enlightenment through the activities of pacification, etc., gained by the power of mantra, gained by the power of tantra. So as I mentioned on a few days ago, what mean by tantra? Tantra means to protect the mind, protect from ordinary perception. When the moment you start to practice tantra, then you practice pure view. Pure view of self as a deity, pure view of others as a Dhargadakinis. Always have a mindfulness of front generation. Always living in the deity's mandala. All the celestial, all the existence as a celestial land, like that. So that alone, bring so much purification to our impure mind. Then verse 61, and also through the force of 8 and other great attainment, like the good port, if you want to practice secret mantra, as explained in the action and performance tantra. So there are many, the mantra, the tantric ritual can, tantric, the power of the mantra, power of the tantric samadhi, and the substance. You learn about all the different substance. Then you can create like the good pot. It means you create like a vase. Then you make a wish. So many wishes easily get fulfilled. And then there are many yogic conducive conditions, can able to achieve. These are not even need to go very high level of tantra. Many of the great yogics, serious yogics, they before they go into a remote area like in a cave in high mountains, they equip with all those yogic conducive conditions such as like quick feet. So quick feet, so so you can travel so easily, so quick, whichever places that you feel is most suitable to impact your practice. And very obvious, Milarepa have done that. Very obvious, Guru Pema Sambhava have done that. In that time there's no flight, no car. Guru Pema Sambhava reach everywhere, all over Bhutan, all over Nepal, in many part of India and Tibet. So without quick fit, not possible. And even in our lifetime, my late master, late Geshe Lama Konjo, illustrated he's having this yogic conducive condition like quick fit. At his third, I think second cave, where the nomads approach him, want to chase him away. The way they're treating him more like an animal, they thought he's like a big monkey. So he felt, if they approach, he's a stranger, he came from Tibet, that village, and they may beat him up. So there's no way to run down, so he went up, and there's a cliff which no human being can cross that. So about 15 of the villagers, they saw in one, together. It's not trick the eye. So he literally is walking, but it's like not flying, but it's just zoom like that, across the mountain. Then there's another incident at the nunnery, the Rachen nunnery in Zoom, where under Lama Subramania's care. So that there's one nun, was sick. They thought maybe spirit harm or whatever. So Geshe Lama Konjo was, like in the village, very famous that he's very powerful, to pacify spirits. So, but Geshe Lama Konjo was meditating in front of a Ganeshima. There's one place called Gombo Lungdang. So from nunnery to go there, it would take, I don't know, day or two or something like that, through the jungle. So the group of people went to request his help, and he accepted, and he said, "You all go first, I will come after." And after some time, maybe about like half an hour to 1 hour, maybe, I don't know exactly, but he says short after, he was coming from other side, and he's supposed to come after them, but he's coming towards them, and he said, "I've done the job." And then they were confused, though, so they still went to the nunnery. The nunnery, they says that Lama Konjo visited them and did perform the puja, and he left. So this is the quick fit. There's no other thing, it's a quick fit. Then such as the capability of tumo fire. Tumo fire is also a yogic conducive condition to remain in different climates, without affected by the climates, And again, Geshe Lama Konjo, he clearly show he stay in the snow, without needed clothes, in the open air. Even the cave is like this, not like that, So that then Chulen practice, the extracting nutritions from like pills or from medicinal herbs, or the most extended one is called the wind chulen. So they inhale the wind, and all the nutrition your body needs, you get from there. So they create that, they bless that breathing, the breath with the mantra and the samadhi. So again, Geshe Lama Konjo, for 26 years, he remained, dependent on gross food. He practiced chulen, wind chulen. You see. So again, these are. So when you when you have a good foundation of lamrim, good foundation of shamatha, wisdom of emptiness, then when you enter into tantra, all these even before learning Haisuki tantra, even learning like such as performance tantra, action tantra, you can already equip this yogic conducive condition. Then after that you go for meditation, then it becomes so easy, like that. And also they consecrate their life to have a lifespan that enough for their to completing their practice. So again, the example that I know, there may be many out there, but I personally know is about Geshe Lama Kuncho, when he was show the manifestation of illness around age of 83, I think. Then there's a in South India, that time there's one called Mirror Lady. Many people may know, who do predictions, who see future and past in the mirror. She consecrate. So she don't know Lama. So I just say I want to do something for him to recover, for him to live long. And she very straightway says that his natural lifespan is already finished 20 years before. He consecrated the lifespan through White Thara practice. He's living 20 more years under his own wish, and now his living is his own wish. He nothing can do. So again, all this. So this is what he is saying. Through the force of eight and other, there are many other things. There are certain things you can be invisible. And what use of that I don't know, but. There's one time in Malaysia, I wanted to hang around in the shopping mall without a student notice me, So I said better don't reveal the secret. So there's one mantra, to you that says you recite the mantra, certain time, then you consecrate something and you apply, your eye. Then you say nobody will see you. So I did that in the morning. So I went into there's one shopping mall called Mid Valley Shopping Mall. I went when the two students from there already said, Kejla. Totally fell. But at least I tried. It was a lot of fun. To trying that. Okay. So then verse 62. Then to receive the perception initiation, you must please an excellent spiritual teacher through service, valuable gift, and like, as well as through obedience. So this is very much talking about creating the causes and conditions to really receive the blessings of initiation. First of all, you need to have the Vajra Guru, to whom you have already established Guru-disciple relationship, or you are ready to establish Guru-disciple relationship. We discussed a little bit in the past, before. There's 10 qualities or minimum, certain qualities, 3 qualities. Then the student also needs certain qualities, remember. So then you need to you need to have a confidence to able to practice guru devotion. So guru devotion is he has a through service, in action, and in thought. So in thought, you're able to you're able to see Guru, oneness with the deity, oneness with the Buddha. Through action, then you really whenever the tasks are given, that you really have the ability to fulfill them. One of the, as I mentioned before, also main task is the Guru's advice is to practice the Dharma, practice the sadhana, especially after you receive initiation. Then practice the sadhanas, the yogas, and you have to you need to have a faith in yourself that you will never break that. Then through obedience, at the end of the initiation there will be a there will be a guru and disciple samaya will be given. Means, whatever guru's advice, you have to honor them, so like that. So then you receive the initiation. So that's the opening door to tantra. So what is the opening door to tantra? Initiation. To understand more, what is the preparation to receive, to enter into tantric practice, to make most out of tantric practice. The common preparatory, uncommon preparatory, which I also mentioned before, like intact understanding of three principal aspects of the path, the lamrim. I think not just three principles, but the whole lamrim, because guru devotion is very important. Then the uncommon preparatory practice is the ngondo practices. So then verse 63, through full bestow of the preceptor's initiation by a spiritual teacher who is pleased, you are purified all wrongdoings and become fit to gain powerful attainments. So that's the reason why the tantra is so secret, why the tantra is so powerful, why it is sweet path. The moment the disciples ripen and meet the qualified tantric guru, and when you are initiated, you are open door to all the blessings, to actualize swiftly, like that, and all attainment comes in your way very swiftly, like that. Then verse 64, because the great tantra of the premodal Buddha forbid it is emphatically those observing pure conduct should not take the secret and wisdom initiation. So from the four initiation, the last two is called secret and wisdom initiation. So this is talking about the most secret way of actual performance of the secret and wisdom initiation is not supposed to grant that initiation to someone who is ordained, because that will transgress the Vinaya vow. So this is talking about that. But that doesn't mean that you don't receive all the four initiation. You will receive all the four initiation, through introducing, through explanation, but not in actual performance of these two initiation. These two initiations is must to all, yes, but not only when the time ripen, and that time could be ripened just the moment before you are going to enlighten. The Dakas and Dakinis will manifest. If you are Daka, then Dakinis, the Buddha's wisdom mother will manifest to you. If you are Dakini, female practitioner, the Daka, the method father deity, the central deity will manifest as a Daka to you. So yes, so like that. Then verse 65. If those observing the Astri practice of pure conduct were to hold this initiation, their vows of the Astri would be impaired through doing that which is prescribed. This great transgression, which are the defeat for those observing discipline, means Vinaya discipline, monastic discipline. Since they are certain to fall to the bad rebirth, they will never gain accomplishment. You see, so therefore, in the name of Tantra, how capable, how high realized you are. I mean, in today's time is very, very rare, extremely rare. Even Lama Tsongkhapa, in his lifetime, I mean, he's a Manjushri, and his practices, surpass maybe all of yogics, but he even at the clear light, he didn't actualize the actual secret and wisdom initiation. He enlightened in the intermediate state, in the Sambhopakaya, and that is, so whole throughout the life he remained as a fully ordained with the Vinaya vow. Vinaya vow, but still he achieved one enlightenment within one lifetime. You see, so like that. So otherwise, ordinary practitioners, in today's time, sometimes that's why the tantra, if you don't explain correctly, it will misuse, especially this true initiation. Would be there's some master who is not how say, is like an uncooked potato. Then you make your diarrhea. So they're very danger. We say that in the name of tantra, you say I have samadhi, I'm very powerful. Then there's a lot of unethical relationship happen between guru and disciple. So these are the danger. That's the danger that comes. So the best example is Lama Tsongkhapa. If Lama Tsongkhapa is not they're not, then who will dare in today's time? But that doesn't mean that obstacle one lifetime enlightenment. Again, Lama Tsongkhapa himself is the proof. Verse 67: There's no fault if one who has received the preceptor initiation and has knowledge of suchness listen to or explain the tantra and perform burn offering rituals, fire puja, or make offerings of the gift and so forth. They like make offerings of a gift is like there are many dharma offering pujas to many different guests. So only can be done through self-generation of deity. Is talking about that. Okay, then then verse 68, the last one. I, the elder Dipamkara Sri, having seen it explained in the sutra and in other teachings, have made this concise explanation at the request of Changchu. Then the conclusion. This concludes the lamp for the path to enlightenment by the great master Dipamkara Srijnana. It was translated and revised and finalized by the eminent Indian abbot himself and by the great reviser, translator, and fully ordained monk Gelugpa, the translator. This teaching was written in the temple of Toling in Xiangshung. Thank you. Finish. Yeah. Dage jinye sabe jewa de tendang jowa gunla gambe kebra jezun losan jaba ye tembe nyingbo rendo zaje jo zaje beje jo jemendo dama rirab leshe nyende jemba sanje shindo mide bewa ye dogun namda shinla je barai jo jezun lame kuze rab denje namgara tele joju jemba Losan tembe drame sasum ye drove muse dadu ye juro je ye dama guru rana men gamne ya da ya me chanjo semjo rimbo je ma je banam je ju je wanya ba me Gone Gondo Pewarai Jo Donye Dawa Rimbo Je Ma Je Banam Je Jurje Jeba Nyamba Meba Gone Gondo Pewarai Jo Rimye Dawa Rimbo Je Ma Je Banam Je Jurje Jeba Nyamba Gondo Pewarai Jo Kare Rave Gove Shingam De Pendan Dewa Malu Chunwe Ne Chere Sewa Tenzin Jazo Shabe Sede Bado Denjuro Je Juzu Lame Guze Rab Denje Namgara Tile Juju Jembada Losan Dembe Dreme Sasum Je Drove Muze Dado Genjuro Je Donye Ninje Zundo Jube Lam Seje Seje Kanje Dende Chana Bemo Tenzin Jazo La Sowa Debzo Shende Lundo Bojo Jewa Gundo Yanda Lamat Tame Je Bela Longe je sadang lam ye yuen den rab zon do je chang ye gong ba nyu do sho jambe ba we je dra khen ba dang gun do sang bo de yang de shin de da guen je je so da lo je ja wa de da tam je rab do ngo de so je be ja wa tam je ngo wa gang la chu do nga ba de da je je we za wa de guen ja sang bo je je rab do ngo wa ra ji Bedan zowa mi gui be yi xin nu bu ba sam xin sim je re wa gun ze be sam ba chu xin zhu be zha xi shu. Thank you very much. Then tomorrow pilgrimage to Rajgir. So we roughly went through the emptiness teaching. So tomorrow's exercise is, everything view as a illusion alike. Then when we reach at the Rajgir, try to sit still there for I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes or half an hour there, or at least for a few minutes try to do this absorption meditation on emptiness, okay, to live a blessed heart. Yeah. Okay, thank you and have a good night. See you tomorrow morning.